right, so I'm going to go over all of the muscles, the skeletal muscles that we can see in this model. So first off, looking at the anterior view of the face, this would be where the frontal bone would be. So this is the frontalis muscle. So here's our frontalis muscle. This connective tissue tendinous sheath, this is called the epicranial aponeurosis. Epicranial meaning above the cranium. Aponeurosis is a sheet-like tendon. It's a sheet of dense connective tissue. And then moving posteriorly, this muscle, which would cover, and a lot of it's covered by this epicranial aponeurosis, but this muscle, which would cover the occipital bone, would be the occipitalis. Occipitalis. This muscle, which kind of fans out, now the ear has been removed, but normally there would be an ear here, kind of fans out and covers the temporal bone. This would be the temporalis. Right? So a lot of these muscles are easy if you learn the bones. Learning the muscles and learning the movement of the muscles helps you understand why they're named the way they are. Muscles a lot of times are named for where they're located, what they look like, what they do. All right? All right, next, let's go back to this anterior view. This circular muscle which surrounds the eye, this is the orbicularis oculi. Orbicularis oculi, a muscle that orbits or encircles the eye. Okay, orbicularis oculi. The circular muscle that surrounds the mouth, this is the orbicularis oris. Orbicularis referring to circular, like an orbit. Oris referring to oral, like the mouth. So the orbicularis oris. I'm going to go to a lateral view and now point out some more muscles. Here, this would be the zygomatic bone. So this muscle attached, this is the zygomaticus major. Zygomaticus major. Here, the zygomaticus major attaches to the zygomatic bone and comes down at an angle to the side of the mouth, whereas this muscle also attaches to the lateral angle of the mouth, but it's more just like horizontal or straight across. This is the risorius. Zygomaticus major, zygomatic bone, zygomaticus major, this is the risorius. Now the muscle that comes down off, so here's the lateral angle of the mouth, and it comes down to the chin area. This is the depressor anguli oris, right? Depressor anguli oris. This large muscle that's going straight up and down, this is the masseter. This huge muscle right here, this is the masseter. It's right next to the parotid gland, which is a salivary gland, the largest salivary gland we have. This is the parotid. Oh my goodness, this is the masseter, this is the parotid gland. And then underneath, so in order to really see the buccinator, the full thing, I'd have to remove a lot of these superficial muscles. But we can see part of the buccinator, which is right here. And the buccinator would run lengthwise, like along the cheek. Like buccal, referring to cheek, it runs this way along the cheek, whereas the masseter runs up and down. Next muscle that we can identify, this is a muscle of the head and neck. This huge muscle which comes down from the mastoid process of the temporal bone all the way down, and we'll have a connection to the clavicle as well as the sternum. This is the sternocleidomastoid. Mastoid process, sterno meaning sternum, cleido meaning clavicle. So this is the sternocleidomastoid. Sternocleidomastoid. Looking more posteriorly, this, now if we were to be able to see the entire upper back region, this is a portion of the trapezius, and we would see it kind of flare out and form more of a big triangular shaped muscle. All right, so this is a portion of the trapezius. And then here, if we were to be able to remove the trapezius and remove the sternocleidomastoid, we would really be able to see the splenius capitis, which comes down from like the mastoid process, occipital bone region, and really flares out and connects to the spine. This here is the portion of the splenius capitis, right here. Okay? And that's what you need to be able to identify from this model.